Hello, everyone. We're here at the Metals Investor Forum Toronto edition. I'm here with Rob Macdonald of Southern Silver, who is VP Exploration for the company. Rob, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me, Peter. It's a pleasure as always.
Excellent. So, Rob, let's jump right into it. Southern Silver has its flagship being Cerro Las Minitas. It's one of the largest high-grade undeveloped silver projects in the world. What's the latest work, and when is a resource update expected?
Yes. Well, for much of 2022, we continued drilling while we were working on the preliminary economic assessment on the project. And so we effectively have mineralization in the can. It's currently being worked into a new updated mineral resource, and we expect to have that within the next maybe 2 to 3 weeks. Of course, you always try to plan to have these for PDAC, but
Sure.
that doesn't seem to happen these days, and whatnot. And what we're doing there is that it's an extensions to one of the 6 deposits that we have currently identified on Cerro Las Minitas, the Mina La Bacona deposit. And so it's the northwest extension of that mineralization. And the aim there is to obviously increase the resources. We're aiming to maybe get towards a double in terms of the size. So that would be the objective. It might not quite get there, but we'll see. And that's only one of the 6 deposits that we have on the project. And so that's the main work that we're looking at. And that's the immediate catalyst right now. Other work that we're doing at this time is to continue working on upgrading the economics of the project and specifically the PEA, which was released in December of 2022. The PEA at that time showed a base case with an NPV at 349 million and an internal rate of return at 17.9. And so, the thing about a preliminary economic assessment is that it is preliminary. and it gives you some of your marching orders on how you can improve things. And so we're looking at several engineering aspects of the project that we can look at decreasing the capital cost and maybe improving the internal rate of return and the NPV. Similarly, we're looking at gold metallurgy and then some other aspects, and with the idea of being able to improve the internal rate of return and the NPV of the project moving forward.
So this can help create more value for Cerro Las Minitas. Yes. It can also, from what I remember from your presentation earlier, it could also increase the ounces in terms of production.
Yes.
Later in the 15 years of the project. And so these things may be less sexy or less obvious, but certainly can help create and add plenty of value to an already big and valuable project.
Well, it certainly goes to the bottom line, and that's what we're here for, is to develop that bottom line. And you'd mentioned, the project is a very robust project with a 15-year mine life. But in terms of maximizing, production on an annual basis, there's only about 2 to 3 years where you're literally at full production. And so there is some capacity throughout the entire 15 years, but particularly in the latter, sort of the years 7 and on. So those latter 8 years where you can be increasing your tonnage produced, and which again, that's all within the context of the 15-year mine life that we've already set out, and again, it'll speak to the bottom line, the economics of the project.
So there's plenty happening at Las Minitas. Why don't we shift gears a little bit and talk about Oro in New Mexico? This is a copper moly gold project, and what's the recent work, and when could we expect some drill results on that?
Yes. Well, as you know, the labs are very backed up, and I mean tremendously so. In the southern U.S., as a number of the majors are going huckety buck drilling off their projects. But as you mentioned, Oro is a large copper moly gold. It's a porphyry system. It's on the eastern end of the Arizona copper belt, the same Laramide porphyry district that is one of the largest porphyry belts in the world. We completed 4,000 meters of drilling on that project, and it ended in late November, early December. And so we're now looking at we've released 2 drill holes, results from 2 drill holes, effectively identifying smoke in there, and that's helped us vector in the next 2 holes, and we're waiting on those results. We anticipate being able to release those results probably within the next 4 to 6 weeks.
Excellent. So we'll look forward to that as well. That's not that far off. What would follow on after that from Hermanas?
Well, at Hermanas, and now Hermanas is a second project that we have in southern New Mexico. It's located just around 35-40 kilometers to the east of our Oro project, so it's all very well located. It's a large vein system, so it'd be the target is going to be gold and silver. It's a large epithermal vein system. We've completed the preliminary sampling and due diligence work that we needed on the project. We've identified a series of drill targets, and we are in the process of permitting that. We would hope to have the permit in hand toward the end of this year, so maybe sometime in the 4th quarter, and be prepared to go drilling there. We'd probably be doing an RC drill program, so relatively inexpensive first cut at looking at this project. And so with the Hermanas project, the Oro project, and Cerro Las Minitas, we believe that we're giving the investor exposure to both base metals and precious metals. And as you know, and as you believe, you anticipate a strong updraft in the silver price in the coming months and years. We believe that'll be reflected in gold, and we're already seeing stockpile crunches in the base metals, and that's leading to very, very high zinc values right now. I think we're at over $1.50 a pound in zinc. Copper's over $4. Lead's lagging, but it's still around $1. And so we think it's important to provide the investor with those opportunities to participate and get value from any of these, certainly the EV metals as well as the precious metals that that are now becoming more valuable as the months move on. So,
and I just want to kind of point out that not only are these base metals at high sustained prices, but inventories are at, in some cases, all-time lows, like days worth of inventories, whereas before, years ago, you were at months at least or years of inventory. And so these are really tight markets, and bodes well for the outlook for these metals, it seems.
Well, we think so, and that's why we're in it. That's why we were continuing to work and develop these projects, and at some point, as all of this comes home to roost, that we believe that there'll be a terrific value within Southern Silver for the for the investor.
Good. So if we can recap, Hermanas is likely to see, you're going to do some permitting this year, likely to see hopefully drilling
toward
next
the end of the year.
Oh, even starting this year.
Yeah, maybe Excellent. Q4 of this year is what the target is. Yes.
Okay, and then at Oro, what would the likely next phase be?
At this point, it's get the assay results out, and then identify some new targeting. We're going to add some claims to the Oro project, and that is pending. It's sort of in the process now, and so we'll have some information on that again in the coming weeks, and then set up, take the data that we get and help develop and have that develop new targets. The fact that we're adding claims suggests that there's at least one more good target that we want to test, and so that will be something to look forward to again with Oro.
Excellent. So we've gotten a great overview of Las Minitas, of Hermanas, of Oro. What's sort of a last thought you'd want to leave viewers with?
Well, I think that when you look at the market now, it seems to be a little bit soft, but the fundamentals are still there for significant growth and asset growth. We believe that we're terrifically leveraged, certainly in silver and zinc. You're a very strong supporter, of course, of higher silver prices, and you've alluded to the very, very tight zinc markets that we spoke of, I think, yesterday at the booth. And so we believe that there's a terrific leverage in this in this company for the investor, and we believe that'll be played out in part this year, and hopefully extend for the coming years.
Well, wonderful. Thanks very much for this in-depth. It's been somewhat of an overview, but we've had a fair bit of depth in each of the different areas, and it's a welcome summary of what's going on at Southern Silver. Thanks for that, Rob.
Thank you very much, Peter. It's always great being here, and it's always great talking with you.
Pleasure. Thank you.